Today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw this cute Mother's Day card. So let's jump in. You're going to need one of your Kraft greeting cards, your workbook, and then a pencil and a fine liner marker. So if you have like a fine point Sharpie, that would work. This is a Uniball pen. This is what it looks like. So just any type of fine point marker or fine liner marker will work great for this. So in the very back of the workbook on page 18 and page 19, there's some different examples here of things that we could use. So it would be really easy to, choose this kind of floral option, but just say Happy Mother's Day instead. Or it could be Happy Mother's Day or I love you. Or you could still put thank you for a Mother's Day thing, or you could put happy in these letters like this, HAPPY, and then Mother's Day written like this. But just keep that in mind, that just because these phrases are in here doesn't mean you can't still keep kind of the format, like the composition and the florals, and just change out the words to whatever event or season it is, So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my envelope as like a little guide here, and I'm going to draw in a baseline for happy, and then I'm going to do Mother's Day here. So I'm just going to draw that on my card. I'm going to make sure that I have it opening the right way, so don't draw it upside down. Done that before. Okay, so I'm just going to go down about 2 inches, and I'm just going to draw on a baseline. And then I'm going to go down a little bit more for the word Mother's Day and draw on a baseline. And then I'm just going to draw in Happy Mother's Day. So once I kind of have it drawn in, I'm feeling good about it. It's not quite centered. You can see mine is a little bit off. And so I think what I'm going to do is change up the florals a little bit. So something I love about flowers is they really are just there to fill up negative space. So instead of like our example, how it went all the way around, because I kind of didn't get it quite centered, and I think it still looks good though, so I don't want to erase it. I'm just going to do flowers more around this side and kind of leave this side without the flowers. So let me show you in the workbook where these flowers examples are. So if you go to page 13, it's this flower number 1, and it's a really simple little flower. It just has 4 little petals and then kind of a little triangle. So you would draw those, add in some stems, and then add in your leaves and the lines to your leaves. So that's basically what this whole thing is, with a few of leaves like this. So it has, you can see those little flowers that we just did, and then leaves, and you just work your way around and fill in the area. So I'm gonna kind of do that now, and I'm still gonna work in pencil to kind of get that penciled in just in this top upper left corner area. Okay, so I kind of have some flowers sketched in here, and you can see I didn't really come up on the top or the side because now it feels more balanced, like it looks like it's basically centered. And that's my favorite thing about flowers. You just add them where you need them to make it look like you plan to do it this way, not that you didn't center your card when you first started. So now at this point, what I'll do is I'm gonna go over everything with my fine liner pen. And so I'm gonna start with the letters and go through that, and I'll do the faux calligraphy, so I'll add the thickness. Again, anytime I'm moving down is where I'm gonna add the thickness. So I'm gonna go through and do the letters first. Okay, so I've got my letters in, and generally you want to try to keep your thickness the same everywhere. So you can see my D got a little bit thicker than the other letters, so that's kind of the main area, and this Y a little bit. But everywhere else, it's generally kind of the same thickness. So that's kind of what you want to stick to when you're doing faux calligraphy, that you just choose a thickness and stick with it through your whole composition. So at this point, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to draw over the flowers with pen. Okay, so that was the last step for drawing, and then after it's dry, then I'll erase all the pencil marks. So I'm going to wait a little while to do that because I don't want it to smear, but that's generally how it's going to look. The last step will just be to get this into the envelope, and I love that these envelopes have the sticky tab for you, so you don't have to lick it. So just seal that, and then I'm just going to add a little flower seal to mine. And so I love to just attach these with glue dots, especially for something like this. I'm going to be handing this to my mom, but something you'll notice this is happening to me right now. Glue dots sometimes don't stick to the wax seal, like they won't stick onto it. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll stick it to the paper first so that it's on good, and then I'll stick it to the wax seal, and then it holds it better that way. So then it's on and ready to go.